What an amazing turnout. I mean, this is very, very impressive. You should all give yourself a big round of applause. I can't understand why some lawyers are still talking, because they're talking to, there's no money to be made here. It's all friendly. Hi. Justice, very nice to see you. Is that Peter next to Justice? Yes, it is. Hi, my name's Bernie Judge, and I'm your MC tonight. Whoopi Goldberg wasn't available, so they asked me to do it. Now, for those of you who don't know, I was the editor and publisher of the Daily Law Bulletin for a long time, and I am a newspaper man first and a admirer of the legal profession second. So one of the things I admire is the quality of the people who are graduates of Chicago-Kent Law School. It's a 125-year-old law school. It's their 125th anniversary, and tonight they've chosen to honor 125 of their graduates, of which is equally impressive, 75 are here to be with us tonight. So many of the names you know, and because I'm a journalist, I have to mention that one of the great graduates of Chicago-Kent was Robert Abbott, who was the founder of the Chicago Defender, a great publication, and also Joel Daly, who, while he wasn't the founder of Channel 7, he certainly served there for at least 3 decades. So let's talk a little bit about what we're going to do tonight. We are going to hear from, before dinner, we will hear from your esteemed Dean, Hal Krent, and then we will hear from John Anderson after that, and then we'll break for lunch or dinner, and then we will come back together again. And so that's going to be the lineup, and it's going to be a marvelous evening, and I look forward to it all. And so now what I have to do next is introduce, if I got it right, and I do, I think, I'd like, rather than keep talking and talk about so many people here that I not only respect but admire, like Bill Johnson sitting back there, and Tom Demetrio wherever he is, but we'll talk a little bit more about him later, and so many others. Lana Rovner, where is she? And I'm going to turn the microphone over to Dean Harold Kent, the dean of this law school, the 10th dean in Chicago-Kent's history, who's followed in the footsteps of terrific men like Webster Burke and William Zacharias, who are both being honored here tonight. Welcome, Dean Krent.
So, welcome to you all, and my promise is, if you all are a little bit quiet, I'll be very brief. But this is so great to see alums and friends and supporters all together to celebrate our 125th. And you know, you become dean, nobody gives you a cheat sheet about what to do for your 125th. And so Susan Lewis and I sat together, and she basically persuaded me, first you do a gala in Union Station, you have 850 people, which you've never had before, an event before. And then you have a block party, which many of you came to. We have over 1,000. And your attendance tonight really is, again, a testament to the strength of the community, which is fantastic. But congratulations to the honor to you who have made the school, in part, so fantastic. Whether you hail from Skokie or from Shanghai, you have parlayed your legal education into fantastic careers. In the law, whether in government or in private practice, but also in business, also in the public interest and in the arts. We appreciate what you've done to build up your local communities, the legal community, as well as empower the school and our reputation. We thank you for your efforts. We congratulate you on your achievements. But you know, the alumni here really, I mean, the awardees here really just stand in for all of our alumni, because our alumni, and those of you who are here in particular, have done so much for our community. You guys are leaders in fields, in law firms, in Chicago, Los Angeles, in Spain and Beijing and elsewhere, but you're also leaders in industry, you're leaders in other walks of life. And that's really part and testament, I think, to the magical Chicago-Kent experience, the faculty, the programs, the spirit, and the support of all of the alums around you. And all of us thank those who have made tonight a special night, and in particular, thanks to Denny Scoville, DLA Piper, Attorney's Title Guarantee Fund, which means Peter Birnbaum, Johnson and Bell, thank you, Bill, Michael Maggiano, Ray Mikulich, Tom Siracusa, Mary Nicolaus Smith, and others who listed in the program who've really helped make tonight an incredible event. So, we have been part of IIT for over 40 years. IIT is celebrating its 125th anniversary in 2 years. It's learning from what we're doing here tonight. It's learning about community. But you know, the ties are very, very intricate. John McDonnell, who's one of the awardees, was a professor at IIT before he came to law school. And Richard Levy, one of the awardees tonight, was a graduate of IIT Stewart School of Business as well as IIT. So I'm pleased now to introduce to you the current and 8th president of IIT, John Anderson. John Anderson is a chemical engineering professor. All of you love chemical engineering. But in addition, he's a member of the Academy of Arts and Sciences and previously taught at Carnegie Mellon, at Cornell, and at Case Western Reserve. John.
Well, congratulations to Chicago-Kent on its 125th. I feel like the uncle who has a nephew that's older than he is. We're 123, starting from the Armor Institute in 1890, not 1888. But congratulations, we're proud to have IIT as one of our great colleges in the university. And we're really proud to have also Hal Krent as a dean. He's done a great job. I think he deserves a round of applause. And of course, I'm here really because of Lou Collens. If you ply us with enough drinks, we'll tell you how that happened. But I want to thank Lou wherever he is. He did a great job as president, as dean. Fantastic. Thank you, Lou. Now, after your celebration last May, I think it was May, in the train station downtown, Union Station, I realized that lawyers party pretty hard. In fact, I knew that before, but it was reinforced at that particular one. So there's it's a good thing to party with lawyers, because if you get in trouble, you've got somebody who can help you, standing right next to you. So I always feel comfortable when I'm around lawyers. There's a rich tradition of excellence at Chicago-Kent, and I want to congratulate the 125 persons selected as outstanding alumni from the College of Law. And I agree with Hal. They just represent all the graduates who've done just a great job. IIT has a unique university because it has architecture, law, engineering, and design. And we all learn from each other, and there's a lot of interaction among those disciplines. I believe we are, if not the only one of the very few technical private universities that has that particular combination. And Hal's been very important to the university in pushing the law school a bit, and the rest of the university to interact with the law school. So it's a unique opportunity. So what I would say is, in closing, is that while you're reveling in your accomplishments tonight, and I know all the bottles of wine will be drunk. I have no doubt that there will be any empties at the back. We start work tomorrow morning early, so enjoy tonight. Thank you.
Well, that's it. It's now time to enjoy dinner, and we'll be back with the program afterwards. enjoy yourself. Have a lovely meal. All right, I do have your attention. Thank you very much. What I need to do now, we have several speakers who want to talk about the Chicago-Kent Law School. And my job is to introduce one of them, who is a superb trial lawyer, a wonderful advocate, unbelievably charming, and but most importantly, he's also a man who's worthy of trust and is honorable, and his word is something you can absolutely rely on. And I can say that not only as a journalist, which I am, but I can say that as a person who knows him on a personal level. He is among the many really fine trial lawyers that this law school has produced in its 125-year history. And I've been sitting with some tonight, and I know some in the room, and if I name some and don't name all, I'm going to be in real trouble. But one out-of-state lawyer, Jim Levin from Houston, who went to this law school and said it was a difference for him and how he was going to spend the rest of his life, and who, coincidentally, his grandmother was a 1913 graduate of this law school, a woman by the name of Burkholder. And he chose to carry on that tradition. Now, I asked him if it's because it's the only law school he could get into, but he said, no, that's not true. Now I'm off the subject of the person I'm supposed to be introducing. So I'm going to introduce him. He's the president of the Illinois Trial Lawyers Association. He's the president of the Chicago Bar Association. He was a board of trustee at IIT. He is now the chairman of the board of the overseers of this fine law school. And he's a superb human being, Tom Demetrio.
Thank you, Bernie. On behalf of the Board of Overseers, the Alumni Association, the faculty, the administration, a warm welcome to all. And to the honorees, a hearty congratulations. I've come to learn that, like Bernie, at wonderful affairs like this, there's no upside to singling out individuals. There are people that deserve a special shout out, but once you do that, you're taking a risk that you're going to slight somebody. So I'm not going to do it. So I just hope that you, Ilana, you, Anne, you, Anita, Dorothy, Julianne, Homer, don't get mad at me for not giving you that little extra special recognition that you deserve. I would like to acknowledge, however, 3 non-Chicago-Kent graduates who are with us tonight. Our trial advocacy program really brought us into the national limelight. It is categorically, bar none, the finest trial advocacy program in the country. The 2 individuals most responsible for that accolade are Judges Warren Wolfson and Dave Erickson. Would you please stand up and be acknowledged? Now, we all know Ed Burke loves golf. In fact, next to winning a key vote in the city council, my guess is he would most like to win a major championship. But that's probably not going to happen. But it has happened to one of our distinguished guests here tonight, the winner of the 1988 PGA Championship, Jeff Sluman. Jeff, would you please stand up and be recognized? I'd now like to acknowledge, pay homage to two honorees who cannot be with us here tonight. We are surrounded by significant historical dates tonight. It's our 125th. Just 2 days ago was the 150th anniversary of the Gettysburg Address. 272 words so eloquently pronounced that all men are created equal. Fast forward to 1894, when Ida Platt graduated with honors from our law school. She, Ida, was the first African-American woman lawyer in the state of Illinois. And only the second in the country. When she was admitted to the bar, one of your predecessors, Anne Burke, remarked, quote, "It may now truly be said that persons are admitted to the Illinois bar without regard to race, sex, or color." She practiced in Chicago for over 30 years and helped bring into prominence the Cook County Bar Association, the nation's oldest African-American bar association. How proud we all are. I would now like to pay homage to the second most important Chicago-Kent alum in my life. But first, I'd like to introduce the most important Chicago-Kent alum in my life, my wife, Dina. "50 years ago, tomorrow, John F. Kennedy was assassinated. Just a month earlier, his last judicial appointment was sworn in as the United States District Court judge, who served in that capacity until he died on St. Patrick's Day, 2001. This diminutive but giant of a man served his community as a lawyer, a prosecutor, a state senator, a soldier, a judge, and maybe most importantly, a friend. He entered our law school at age 16. At the time, by the way, Hal Krent, his yearly tuition was $120. I think in his honor, we should revert to those $120 a year. He completed law school in 3 years. He was 19 years old. The year was 1925. He had to wait 20 months before he could take the Illinois bar exam because the requirement was you had to be 21 years of age. And yes, he passed the bar on the first attempt. This was a man who every day wore cufflinks of his ma and paw in their honor. Of his mother, he said, "My mother ran a little penny candy store, and she and my dad raised 5 children just behind that little store in 3 rooms without a bathtub." Of his father, he said, "My father was a poor tailor, but he left us a good name and a good heritage by his constant display of integrity under very adverse conditions. Of both of them, he said, "Somehow we managed not only to exist, but we had a very happy life. My parents impressed upon us the importance of helping, regardless of how meager our lot was. And we saw them do these things themselves. We saw them put feelings and preaching into action. Boy, did they do a good job." This honoree taught us, never forget to remember. Go into the courtroom or any room with your self-respect and make sure you leave with it. Do a mitzvah every day and never hurt the name. He was a man whose best buddies included Joey Lewis, Jimmy Durante, Frank Sinatra. He was, if you will, the original Billy Deck. He loved being a judge, primarily because he knew it was important to his mother that he be one. When he was interviewed on the occasion of his 90th birthday, he was asked what his future ambitions were. His reply, just one, to leave behind an honorable name. That he did. This alum loved Chicago, Kent, and vice versa. And upon his death, our school was the beneficiary of a magnificent bequest made by him. Ladies and gentlemen, let us not forget to remember. Please stand and give Abraham Lincoln Marovitz and the other deceased honorees the ovation they so richly deserve. Thank you.
Well, as usual, it's very hard to beat Tom. Bill Johnson knows how tough it is. Now, the next person I'd like you to chat with, or rather listen to, is Andrea Bertone. In a legal environment that's become increasingly global over the last decade, and Chicago Kent's way ahead of the curve, growing its LLM program and its expand overseas. The school's attracting many students more than ever from foreign countries, and more graduates are come from here and finding work abroad. Andrea is one of several honorees who hails from overseas. She's a native of Brazil. She's a lawyer in Brazil she was a lawyer in Brazil before coming to Chicago, working and getting her LLM in international and comparative law. After working in Baker and McKenzie, she returned to South America for a while and then went to Texas and worked for Duke Energy. And at Duke Energy, she now leads the international business segment of that company. Andrea also represents the many honorees who have used their law degrees to become top business leaders, such people as Lee Oshberger, Craig Donahue, Mark Frey, Homer Livingston Jr., Greg McLaughlin, Richard Rodriguez, and Robert Washlow, who was sitting with me earlier, but he's gone off to probably close a real estate deal. So may I ask, without further ado, that we please welcome Andrea Bertone.
Thanks, Rodney. Thank you. It is a pleasure and an honor to be here tonight, back in Chicago, after almost 20 years that I graduated from my LLM program. It's like a whole life ago, I guess. When I think back at what I've accomplished since my graduation at Chicago-Kent in '95, on the several turns that my career took, it is incredible to think that all started here in Chicago at Chicago-Kent. I was then a young Brazilian lawyer. I had just moved to the United States, and I had no idea whether I was going to have a professional opportunity in this country. And then I landed at Chicago-Kent. I remember being very impressed with the institution, with how the faculty supported the international students, and also with how technology advanced the school was. And it's horrible to say this because it's going to tell you how old I am, but the truth is the first email address I had, a personal email account, was from Chicago-Kent. At Chicago-Kent, I learned how to put my CV together. I learned how to be a lawyer in the United States. Chicago-Kent was my first door to the American legal system. Through Chicago-Kent, through one of my professors, I got to know people at the law firm of Baker & McKenzie, where I was later hired, and this was my first job in the United States. And I started at a file cabinet, but ended up with the view of the lake. And so I want to take this opportunity, I want to be very brief here, and I want to take this opportunity to thank Chicago-Kent for being the basis from which I built my career. And it gave me the tools to be where I am today. So I want to thank the institution. I am very proud of myself, obviously, but I'm very proud of the school and all the people that are here celebrating this 125 years of the school. And I want to take the opportunity also to thank my husband, Robert, that is here with us. And he was the person that was my best friend and my biggest supporter, and the person who pushed me forward and gave me absolutely no alternative and no way out every time that giving up was the easiest way. So thank you, Chicago-Kent. Thank you, Robert.
We're now into the last phase, which is the most important phase, which is to honor those people who so richly deserve this award. There are 75 that are here out of the 125. A number of them can't be here because they're no longer with us. They're long gone. And one of the most, I'm going to take only 5 seconds. I could spend an hour, but there's one person who died, who's not here, who I think is probably as finest representative of this law school you could possibly imagine. She's a woman. She was a first in almost everything that she did. And I would just like to ask that you give a short round of applause for Esther Rothstein. So as my final act tonight, I would like to turn the program over to Lou Collens, who's the President Emeritus of IIT. He was the Dean of Chicago-Kent from 1974 to 1990, and he was the President of IIT from 1990 to 2007. He served on the selection committee that had the difficult task of narrowing down 400 nominations into this 125. I have no idea how he did it, because there's some of my friends who aren't on the list, and I won't forgive them. And anyways, this is a magnificent group of honorees, and now, Lou, it's up to you.
Thanks, Bernie. This is just a wonderful evening. You know, 25 years ago, we celebrated the 100th anniversary of this law school. And it was a festive occasion. Justice Harry Blackmun was here to lead the celebration. and that was 1988. That was before many of you who are being recognized tonight even graduated from this law school. In fact, according to my count, 19 of you are post-1988 graduates, so you're clearly on the fast track. For me, that 100th anniversary will always be remembered by what did not happen. Several weeks before the event, I received a call from Justice Blackmun saying that he hoped to be able to be with us, but that he was going to be at the Mayo Clinic for chemotherapy treatment the day before he was supposed to come, and he was not sure whether he would be feeling strong enough. Well, I can tell you that set off a mild panic. It was time for Plan B. But first we had to make sure that we were doing everything we possibly could to accommodate Justice Blackmun. I called Bob Galvin and asked whether he would make his plane available, and of course he said he would. So his plane was sitting at the airport in Rochester, Minnesota, waiting for the word from Justice Blackmun in the hospital as to whether the justice felt strong enough to go to the plane. But what if he didn't make it? Who would be the speaker? Well, it's always possible for the dean to give a speech, but that sure would have been a letdown. So I called Alana Rovner, explained the situation, and she said, "No problem, I'll be Plan B." So she wrote a speech and was ready to go. Well, she never delivered that speech because Justice Blackmun, in fact, came and was energetic and inspiring. But Alana has never received recognition for her willingness to be Plan B. I know it would have been a great speech because I read it. So Alana, thank you very much. This is 25 years overdue. As Bernie told you, the alumni we're honoring tonight were selected from more than 400 nominees. I was told that I had to take the responsibility for the 275 that were not selected. It was really a very hard choice. We had some extraordinary people who did not make it to this list. But the good news is you're already well positioned to be on the list for the 150th anniversary. Now that will be held in 2038, and with a little planning, it will be held on the day of Ralph Brill's 103rd birthday. And now it's definitely time to present these wonderful medals to the honorees. As I call your name, please walk up to the stage to receive your medal from the Dean. Anita Alvarez, the class of 1986, was elected Cook County State's Attorney in 2008, becoming the first woman and first Hispanic to hold that position. She served as president of the Chicago Bar Association in 2009 and was named Chicago Lawyer Magazine's Person of the Year in 2001. Lee Augsburger, class of 1987, is the Senior Vice President and Chief Ethics and Compliance Officer for Prudential Financial, overseeing the company's global compliance organization and the company's business ethics efforts. Congratulations, Lee. Thank you. Sue Augustus, of the class of 1982, is Chief Operating Officer, Health and Disability Advocates. She's dedicated her career to representing and advocating for the homeless and is a founder of Deborah's Place, which started in 1985 to serve the needs of homeless women in Chicago. Gerald Bepko, class of 1965, is former Chancellor at Indiana University, Purdue University, Indianapolis, and Vice President of Indiana University. As Chancellor, he oversaw the construction of more than 20 new buildings, a fundraising campaign that produced more than $1 billion, and launch of IU Health, which is ranked in the top 1% in the country. Andrea Bertone, who you heard from a little while ago, the class of 1995, and you already know that she is the president of Duke Energy International and has gone on to do so many wonderful things. Peter Birnbaum, the class of 1983, served as president and CEO of Attorney's Title Guarantee Fund since 1991. He is a past president of the Chicago-Kent Alumni Board of Directors and currently serves on the Board of Overseers. Dr. Bruce Bloom, class of 1988, the President and Chief Science Officer of Cures Within Reach, a nonprofit organization that repurposes approved drugs and devices. He was selected an International Ashoka Social Entrepreneur Fellow in 2010. Dorothy Brown, class of 1996. Served as clerk of the Circuit Court of Cook County since 2000. She led the development of electronic filing, the Court Clerk Mobile Connect mobile app, the online traffic ticket payment system, and smart forms and smart kiosks. Congratulations. Justice Anne Burke, class of 1983. Anne truly needs no introduction. Webster Burke, the class of 1903. He's looking really good. Delighted that his grandson, 1975 graduate of Chicago-Kent, R. Burke Kinnaird, is here tonight to represent the memory of Webster Burke, one of the founders of this school. Patrick Burns, class of 1978. The founding shareholder of the intellectual property firm Greer, Burns & Crane. He's a past president of the Intellectual Property Law Association of Chicago and serves on the advisory board of BNA's Patent, Trademark, and Copyright Journal. Margaret Byrne, class of 1982. The co-founder and director of the Illinois Clemency Project for Battered Women. She has represented more than 60 incarcerated women in prison for injuring or killing their abusive spouses. Margaret. Joe Cahill, class of 1985, was the editor of Crane's Chicago Business from 2005 to 2011 and is currently a columnist for the publication. He directed Crane's award-winning print and online news coverage. Joe? Archibald Carey Jr., the class of 1929. Accepting on his behalf this evening is his granddaughter, Renee Bohas. Renee? Jonathan Carson, class of 1997, is the co-founder of Kurtzman Carson Consultants, one of the largest claims and noticing agencies for companies going through bankruptcy. He was recognized as the Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year in Greater Los Angeles in 2008. Joel Daly. Hi, Joel. It's hard to know what to say about Joel except that he was on the very first moot court team that won the national championship, and he set us off on that incredible journey that we're still on. Billy Dick, class of 1999, is the founder and CEO of Rockit Ranch Productions. Tom Demetrio. Says, among other things, that Tom has secured more than $130 million in jury verdicts.
Yeah. My very first professor in my very first class of law school.
It just goes to show you how hard you have to work to overcome those kinds of problems, right?
And yes, I got a D.
But, you know, you still haven't answered the question as to who owns the sock. Craig Donahue, class of 1989, is the incoming executive chairman of OCC, formerly known as Options Clearing Corporation. Robert Eatman, class of 1981. He's the founder of talent agency Robert Eatman Enterprises. Represents some of the best-known names in the entertainment field today. I can see he's trying to sign up Hal Krent. Harris Faywell, class of 1952. Harris spent nearly 3 decades combined as an Illinois state senator and member of the U.S. House of Representatives. Eileen Flaherty, class of 1983, is the global head of compliance and financial crimes prevention for New Edge, a premier global agency, broker, and clearinghouse. Thomas Flanagan, class of 1963, is the co-founder and managing partner of Flanagan and Bilton, a nationwide property tax firm that serves clients in 40 states. Norman Freeling, the class of 1932, built a successful career in stock brokerage as the founding partner of Freeling and Company and the chairman of the board of the Midwest Stock Exchange. Norman was a very good personal friend, a wonderful friend of the law school, and his son Paul Freeling is here tonight to accept this honor on his behalf. Jamie Frevaletti, class of 1985. He's a successful author whose debut novel, Running from the Devil, became an international bestseller. Mary Fry, class of 1989. You don't look like Mary. No. Mike. Aha. See, the problem is when your eyesight begins to fade like mine and you look at it and it says M-A-R-Y, you actually think it means M-A-R-Y. Sorry, Mark. Mark is the president and CEO of Alexian Brothers Health Systems. He previously served as president and CEO of Alexian Brothers Behavioral Health Hospital. All right. Michael Galasso, class of 1961, is a partner in the law firm of Schiller, Ducanto, and Fleck. He served as chief judge of the Circuit Court of DuPage County before being appointed to the Illinois Appellate Court in 1999. Tracy Jennison, class of 1988. Is a partner in the San Francisco office of Reed Smith, LLP, and is the go-to litigator for the American wine industry on constitutional issues. Congratulations. Lynn Goldstein, class of 1978. Recently joined New York University's Center for Urban Science and Progress as its Chief Data Officer. Previously, she was Privacy General Counsel and Chief Privacy Officer at J.P. Morgan Chase. Congratulations. Gordon Greenberg, class of 1980, is a partner in the Los Angeles office of McDermott, Will & Emery. He formerly served as Chief of the Financial Investigations Unit in the Los Angeles U.S. Attorney's Office. David Hansen, class of 1984, is a partner in the Palo Alto office of Skadden Arps and is one of the organizers of the International Digital Economy Accords, a project of the Aspen Institute Communications and Society program. David, congratulations. Julianne Hornack, retired in 2010 as the longest-serving clerk of the Illinois Supreme Court. Randy Hultgren, class of 1993. I'm sorry, not here. It's not you. Yeah, Bill, I know that. Bill, okay, Bill. William Johnson, class of 1966, is co-founder and president of the law firm Johnson & Bell, and he's brought quite a cheering audience with him. Mark Kemper, class of 1986. He's the managing director and head of the legal department of UBS Global Asset Management. Ted Koenig, class of 1983, is the founder, CEO, and president of Monroe Capital. Bruce Cohn, class of 1979. Recently retired as the managing partner in the law firm Annecy, Osmond, Roden, Novak, and Cohn. He's former president of the Illinois Trial Lawyers Association. Bruce, Mark Corman, class of 1989. He's a partner and agent at William Morris Endeavors, one of the largest talent agencies in the world. Terry Lavin, class of 1983. He's a civil trial lawyer in 27 years before being appointed a justice of the Illinois Appellate Court. Jim Levine, class of 1974. Jim is the founding partner in the Houston criminal defense law firm of Zimmerman, Levine, Zimmerman, and Sampson. He's a former president of the National Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers. Elaine Levin, class of 1985. A partner at Whalen LLP with more than 25 years of experience as a corporate and securities attorney. She served as president and director of Girls Incorporated of Orange County. Jeffrey Leving, class of 1979, is internationally known as the father's rights attorney and the author of 3 books dealing with issues related to divorce in 2012. He was awarded by President Obama, awarded him the National Lifetime Call to Service Award. Jeffrey, congratulations. Good to see you. It's great to see you. Richard Levy, class of 1997. Oh, I'm sorry. Whoop. Homer Livingston. I was just kidding. Homer Livingston Jr., class of 1966. The former president and CEO of LaSalle National Bank, has been a leader in the new rules of corporate governance. He served on so many boards we don't have time to read the list tonight, Homer. That's right. Michael Maggiano, class of 1974. He's considered one of the top civil trial attorneys in the state of New Jersey. He secured dozens of multi-million-dollar verdicts and settlements. He served as president of the Association of Trial Lawyers in America. Congratulations. Michael Merrick, class of 1982. A founding partner in the law firm of Meckler, Bulger, Tilson, Merrick, and Pearson, and a founding fellow of the American College of Coverage and Extra-Contractual Counsel. Congratulations. Kevin Martin, class of 67. Oh. Kevin, I guess that says it all. Congratulations. John McDonald, class of 1975. Founding partner of McDonald, Bainan, Hulbert, and Berghoff. He previously was Chief Patent and Trademark Counsel at G.D. Searle and Company. Lester McKeever, Jr., class of 1971. Managing principal of the accounting firm Washington, Pittman, and McKeever. He served as chairman of the Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago from 1997 to 1999 and has served so many other organizations. Lester. Gregory McLaughlin, class of 1999. We're going to have a shout-off later as to see who can get the most. The president and CEO of the Tiger Woods Corporation. Congratulations. Raymond McCulloch, class of 1981. Managing partner and chief investment officer for Ridgeline Capital Group. He's a leader in real estate finance and investments. He served as a trustee of the Urban Land Institute. Congratulations. Camille Miller, class of 1991. The co-chair of the Intellectual Property Department at the law firm of Cozen and O'Connor, named one of the top 50 trademark lawyers in the United States. James Morrissey, class of 1979. Founding partner in the law firm Morrissey, Figlioli and Associates, specializing in personal injury. Arthur Morris, class of 1971, is the co-founder and senior partner of Morris Hardwick Schneider PC, the largest real estate closing firm in the nation. He also started a foreclosure business which has grown to have 600 employees. Congratulations. Theodore Novak, class of 1967, is a senior partner in DLA Piper's Real Estate Group and has chaired its land use development and government relations practice for the last 25 years. Stephen Odre, class of 1977, retired general counsel of Amgen Incorporated, a global biotechnology company. Congratulations. Kevin O'Keefe, class of 1973, is a partner in the law firm of O'Keefe, Lyon, and Hines, expanding the scope of the firm's state and local tax practice across the nation. He was a special assistant to President Clinton for presidential personnel and oversaw the nomination and confirmation of all U.S. attorneys and marshals in all presidential regional appointments. Roy Palmer, class of 1962. He's a retired real estate lawyer with extensive experience in Native American gaming industry. He's an active philanthropist. Roy. Carrie Peck, class of 1978. The managing partner of the law firm Peck Bloom LLC and a recognized expert in elder law. He's past president of the Chicago Bar Association, and he's heading this way. John Pekarsky Jr., class of 1969. The founder of the law firm Gordon and Pekarsky, former member of the Chicago Plan Commission, served as president of the Cook County Board of Ethics. John, congratulations. Kwame Rowell, class of 1993, is an Illinois state senator. He's a partner in the Chicago office, and he told me during the reception this is the only reason he would have left the pension committee discussions in Springfield was to be here for this award. Congratulations, Kwame. Skip it. Okay. Alana Rovner, class of 1966, was the first woman appointed to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Seventh Circuit.
I think I still have that speech somewhere.
Dennis Scoville, class of 1973. He's a nationally recognized trial attorney. He may be best known for successful representation of the victims of Tailhook and the Ford Explorer rollover crashes.
Dennis, good to see you. See you, Professor.
Tom Saragosa, class of 1986. A partner in the law firm of Power, Rogers, and Smith, who's achieved record-setting results. Serves on the board of managers of the Illinois Trial Lawyers Association. Jim Turman, class of 1973. President and Chief Financial Officer of Jaskulka Turman. He has served as Associate Counsel to Vice President Walter Mondale and was on advanced teams all over the world. Congratulations, Jim. Bernard Tresnowski, class of 1998. Former President and CEO of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association. After receiving the C. Rufus Rorum Health Service Award for outstanding achievement and contributions to the delivery and financing of health services, he retired from Blue Cross and enrolled at Chicago Kent and went on to work full-time pro bono at the Legal Assistance Foundation of Chicago. Bob Washlow, class of 1970, is the founder of Bay West Management. He's a former president and CEO of Lawson Products, and he serves as a trustee at the Illinois Institute of Technology. John Watson, class of 1988, the chair of Baker & McKenzie's North American Environmental Practice Group and leads the international law firm's Coordinated Global Environmental Practice. Congratulations. Jeff Weiner, class of 1974, is the managing partner at Jeffrey S. Weiner, a leading criminal defense attorney in Miami. He served as president of both the National Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers and the Florida Criminal Defense Attorneys, and he gave me the first ride of my life on a motorcycle.
Thank you.
Raymond Werner, class of 1971. The chairman of Arnstein & Lair's executive committee and focuses his practice in real estate law. Former chair of the Anglo-American Real Property Institute and the author of many books. Congratulations. Pat Whitten, class of 1974. She's a partner in the law firm of Franzik Radelet. She's the first woman and the youngest ever general counsel of the Chicago Board of Education. Pam Waldo, class of 1984. Partner and general counsel of Edge International, a global law firm and consulting firm. American Bar Association named her a legal rebel. A legal rebel. George Zelks, class of 1979. Let's hear it for George. He's a partner in the law firm of Cora and Tillery. He's a finalist for the Trial Lawyers for Public Justice Trial Award of the Year Award in 2003. He's done extraordinary other work, and he gets the last medal tonight. About a round of applause for all of the award winners. And now a closing word from, from Dean Krent of Kent.
So just a quick thanks to Bernie, thanks to Lou. We've made it where we have so far because of your work and the work of your friends, your parents, your grandparents, and let's just hope we can continue the trajectory. We're stronger as a community. It's incredible what you all have accomplished. Let's keep it together. And not only do we want to keep it together today, but we can keep it together tonight by going to a place that's reserved in the bar downstairs. Enjoy each other. Thanks for coming. Be strong. And stay here for a picture. Good night.